Why does every business podcast sound like a TED Talk?
Because nobody's letting founders just talk. And since we both love to talk and listen to other founders and their experiences, we decided to make a different kind of podcast. I'm Stacie Staub, CEO and co-founder of West Domain Homes and a few other businesses we've built from scratch and plan to keep.
And I'm Madie Linder, CMO and co-founder. We've been in business together long enough that there's basically nothing we don't say to each other.
With each episode, we bring in a founder who's building for the long game, and we just talk about the real decisions, the hard pivots, and the stuff that doesn't make it to the reels.
We are your best friends in business.
Your best friends in business with Stacie and Madie. The best advice you ever had, so you won't have to ask your dad. Best friends.
So I haven't even seen you this week till now. So what were you doing?
I know. I had a quick trip to Vegas, and I had the privilege of speaking to the Las Vegas Association of Realtors, along with the National Association of Realtors. Really great conference. A lot of AI. You know, we can't stop talking about AI around here. So got to, collaborate with some folks and had some great conversations. And I will tell you this. Vegas realtors do not look like Denver realtors.
No, I
watching,
can imagine.
I was on a Zoom. I was like behind this glass wall, and the Zoom was in front of me, but I could see people walking in, and I was like, "Holy sequence, where am I, Toto?" And it was a whole different world, but so sweet, so genuine, a really engaged audience. The National Association has some new things coming out, so it was interesting to learn about that too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, you were holding it down. So.
Meanwhile, while you were in Vegas, I was holding down restaurant prep with buckets of paint. So it was, but it's looking great. We color drenched everything, you guys. We color drenched blue in the main dining room. We color drenched some really fun bathrooms in very bright yellow, that color yellow, maroon, all the things. So it's looking good.
Yeah, I came back late at night, and I had to go by and take a look because you'd been sending me pictures, but it does look so amazing. So thank you.
We got a slab. Stacie and I went and picked out a slab at the slab yard, which should be a really fun thing. However, customer service has deteriorated.
Yeah, we weren't thrilled with that, but we did love the guys who kept pulling out the slabs.
Yes.
They used a big truck because of course they weigh thousands of pounds. And when they pulled out our slab, we did start crying a little.
We danced.
We hugged
and they were like, okay. And we were like, oh, you're going to be such a beautiful boy.
We had to go and pat it.
Yeah.
They were laughing at us so hard. I'm sure they do not.
And the back of their shirts said, respect the slab.
Yes, we loved that. Respect the slab. I totally do.
Same.
Yeah. The slab is important.
Not trying to mess around.
It really is the jewel of the room right now.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah. Well, thanks for dealing with everything while I got to go.
Thanks for Vegasing.
Yeah, Vegas. But I can't wait to dig in today's interview.
Yes, we're so excited.
So excited.
Best friends.
Most people who grow up on a farm in Idaho don't end up sitting with women in the Dominican Republic and asking them what they actually need. And when the answer comes back, even fewer drop everything to build it. Mercy Tucker did. She co-founded Project ICU in 2009 with a counselor's instinct and a farmer's work ethic, and she's been building it ever since. One immersion trip, one Teveo house, one 10,000 grant at a time.
Today, the organization has supported over 3,000 women, invested nearly $1 million, and launched the Shared Power Initiative to help women own property and build generational wealth in Denver. This is a story about what happens when you stop asking, how can I help, and start asking, what do you need? About building across borders and across lines of race, class, and privilege, and about the belief that being seen is where transformation starts. So today we have our friend Mercy here. You heard just a little bit of her story, but we're really going to dig in, Mercy, because I think your story is just so inspiring, so amazing. You're the only nonprofit founder that we're interviewing in season 1. And when we were looking at the lineup, you were top of the list. So we couldn't wait to have you here. So let's start at the beginning. Where did you grow up? How did that go?
Thank you so much for having me, first of all. Yes, so you said Idaho. Grew up on a farm in Eden, Idaho. My dad was a businessman. He just started his own company, and it was insurance. It was agri insurance, and took that all the way to becoming a pet insurance agent and I mean, as far as what he did and where he went, like it was like beyond what anyone could have thought. So I saw that growing up. I saw his work ethic. I saw who he was. I also had a mom who, whenever any type of judgment was coming up, she was like, you don't know everyone's story. Hold on. I wouldn't be doing that. Right. And so all of that was like built in me. And I also just had the message that you can do whatever you want to do. Like, what is it? Where are you going to go? How are you going to do it? Right. And all of my family went to the University of Idaho. That was what they did, where they went. It was sort of like, this is how everyone made their way. And I just had this in me that like, think I need to get out of here. Like, I think this has been what it is. I love my growing up in so many ways. I mean, not that it didn't come with its difficulties. I came from an addicted alcoholic, background, like both my mom and dad did. And so that was a part of it for sure. But I knew that I could do what I wanted to do. And it sent me to Pepperdine University. So that's where I ended up going to complete change of scenery.
No kidding. Amazing. And so what did you study at Pepperdine?
So studied psychology.
Okay.
And that really was my belief that how you change things is just with people knowing themselves and you getting in there and knowing they're not alone. So I knew that right away. And I was like, this is my way to get there. And that actually led me to leave college after college, went to India for a month and backpacked and got myself together and met Mother Teresa. Oh, that's a whole nother podcast.
Oh my God. Wow.
But then ended up in Philadelphia, worked in it was like a residential treatment facility, and realized that this is about as far as I'm going to take a psychology degree. And so what brought me to Colorado was actually to get my master's in counseling. So this was the setup for all of what I ended up doing, was that master's in counseling.
Wow. And so was it University of Denver?
So it wasn't. It was Colorado Christian University, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's right down the street from my house.
Yeah, it was Larry Crabb was, just an author that I was like, I need to study under him wherever he is. And that's where he ended up being. And so.
Amazing. And so flash forward then, we met through Project ICU.
Yeah.
And through a series of actually missed connections, honestly.
Yeah.
Like people kept trying to introduce us. And like when we finally met, it was like, oh my gosh, where have we been?
Yes.
So grateful for those folks who saw like this like possible collaboration between our companies and our organizations, I should say, and between, our missions, basically, and like what we're all trying to do. So I know it didn't start with Project ICU. So can you take us back to the beginning of like what has become what you're doing now?
Right. So what ended up happening is we ended up getting an opportunity, my husband and I and our two kids and the other co-founder, so our family, other co-founders' family, to go live in the Dominican Republic for 4 years. And that really set us on the trajectory that we're on. What I say is that it set us up for our proof of model. Like really what we realized is what a lot of us end up realizing, that the women in that community knew exactly what it needed and no one had been listening. Mm-hmm. So we were just there to listen. And all of what came out of that was really a lot of economic development. And we just said yes. I really, to all of what they saw, we were just saying yes. And I don't think that had ever been the case. And you fast forward now, right, to 17 years later, and it's like they have an entire empowerment center that has been built. We've always been about women and ownership. And so the ownership in the Dominican Republic really looks more like starting businesses, because what we've found is if we want to see generations be changed, overseas and internationally, it really is business. Like if a woman owns a business, she can pass that on to her children. So that is what's happening in that center, skills that, occupational, educational skills that then can lead them to start businesses. And we really are aware that when a woman's life changes, it changes everything, right? And so that's really what set us up for what we're doing. I feel like it is now its own complete foundation. They are locally run and operated, their own director. And that is really how we set out for it to be. Like, this is theirs. And so then the work got brought to Denver. And that has just been connections and like resources, like, networking throughout Denver for like probably the first 5 years we were here. And it got us to the point of we realized, like, what does this look like for women in ownership in Denver? And we found that it was property.
Yeah. So I want to take that step forward, but I just have a question. So what kinds of businesses are they starting in the Dominican Republic? And when you say that, like, what are people picturing in their heads when they're like, what are they doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there really all kinds of skills that are being offered at the center. What they want to see happen is it's a really small community. It's called La Victoria. And they're like, what can they actually make, or what skill can they have that could be purchased there? Like, that could actually bring in income and revenue there in that community. So it's like furniture making. It's like soaps, like different kinds of soaps, like whether it's cleaning supplies or soaps for, your body. It's cake baking for celebrations.
Yeah.
It's like having, like, how to do appetizers for events. It's English. It's also different skills, like even mechanical skills, so that you could actually go back to your home and you can like repair some different things in your home. So, and we're seeing like restaurants open up, or colmados open up, that these women have like, are either renting spaces or having those off the side of their house, and it's all over La Victoria now.
That's amazing.
It's so amazing.
It is.
And I think, like, just like we see here in Denver with the women that you help, like, they are the head of the family. They are the breadwinners. And like you said, like, they have to be the change.
Yeah.
Or nothing's going to change.
They do.
So now, flipping back forward to Denver then, I know we have gotten involved on such a lovely basis, and like, thank you for the opportunity to do that. Every time we get to hand you a big ass check, it just makes my whole month. It's just, and every time, we get hit up a lot for funds, and we used to kind of spread those funds out and did some different things over the years. That changed during COVID. And as we weren't able to bring people together, we were like, okay, how can we support these organizations? How can our agents support the organizations at their heart? And then when we finally connect, we even started our own foundation, which is so hard. So,
hard.
So congratulations.
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah. We were like, this is a whole other thing. So we let that go when we actually met you and decided to like fully support Project ICU with 400 agents and the funds that we're able to raise and commit. And I know there are so many other real estate organizations that do the same through the Shared Power Initiative. And we've gotten to even know our real estate community through Project ICU a little better.
Which is great.
It's like the people that we want to connect with, because I feel like we all just have like this shared mission.
Yes.
So if you look back 5 years to where Project ICU is now, like, what does that look like?
I feel like exactly what you just said. It is invaluable that we have partners. Like, we're not interested in doing this alone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're not interested in this being about Project ICU even. Like, we're interested in bringing our community together, and especially those who are in the industry, whether it's realtors, lenders, banks, anyone that is in the industry of home, right? Construction, right? It's like bringing us all together to say, what can we do to make sure there's home for those who aren't going to know that? And that really, in the end of the day, is what fuels us. Like, it is what is it's our fire.
Yeah.
It's like, let's see this happen. And we're at the place now where we have seen 134 women get into homes. This year has been, I've used the word unprecedented. I kind of laugh that I used it, because I'm like, what is a word that's like beyond unprecedented? Like, we are hitting a place where we have never seen, as far as women continuing to come and apply, and then get to closing, and they're going past, they're going through the finish line. And I feel like that even is such a, it's just such a, just what's happening. It's like, it's showing us what can happen when we all come together and we all say yes. So thank you for your yes.
Yeah.
Like, and I really know that, like you said, it has been so many people bringing this together, just knowing who both of you are, and just as women-owned business and what you have done, and just thinking like, what can this look like for women when we do this?
And we know how it works, but will you explain how the grants work?
Yeah.
Yes. So application, come to our website, women apply there, and then they get sent to a group interview. And then once most every woman is welcomed into the program, and the program really is cohorts that meet every Friday night, and all resources and connections, anything we have are theirs. And then as they get through the process, so, they may be 2 years away, they may be 2 months away. It's like they keep going until they get to the place where they've identified a property. They've, pre-qualified for a loan, identified a property, and then they can actually apply for the grant of up to $10,000. And that grant can be used for closing, but it also can be used for after closing. Like if we can find a way to get them there with all of these other, grant assistance that can be stacked, and they can get to closing without our grant, then they can use it for after, for, those repairs that make the home livable, those safety concerns that might be in their home.
Or even like appliances and things.
Yes.
Like it can help you like really make it
make
complete.
it your home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I remember when I first heard about Project ICU, and it was like, no, they're giving like no strings attached grants.
Yes.
We couldn't believe it.
And I was so impressed with the lack of bureaucracy, because sometimes with nonprofits, there's a lot of red tape and you don't actually know where the money is going. And with you guys, it's like, I know all of that money is going exactly where it needs to without you guys determining what that is and setting boundaries about it. So it's really impressive.
Yeah, because there are programs like, and wonderful
home buyer,
programs.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but there are programs like that do create,
Barriers.
the barrier to moving up the property ladder, because you're limited on the profit that you can make on your property, and or a silent second that has to get paid back
Yeah.
when you close. That ends up being like not such a great deal. So I just think it's so beautiful how simple you've kept it, and we've had the pleasure of meeting so many of the women who have benefited from your program. Hearing them speak, like I literally just break down. Like
Yeah.
the minute someone hits the stage, I'm just like, well, here we go.
Yeah.
I
No,
am
it's
definitely
hard.
going to cry now.
It's hard
And you
not
just
to cry 'cause
know.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
And
life
I
transforming.
think then they become part of your team too.
Exactly.
It's so amazing.
That really is what we saw from the beginning. Is there's so many barriers. We know that even, the discriminatory practices that are real, that have been there. We know that it's only been 50 years that women could even own property, right? The Equal Credit Opportunity Act was passed in 1974. And before that, a woman couldn't even take out a line of credit. Like she couldn't own a property, own a business, own anything without a man's signature. And so all of that has led us to say, what does this mean if we just allow for some backup, allow for, some funds to be there? That, I'm aware that any of us that started a business, any of us that owned a home, we didn't do that without some type of support, right? It's like you don't jump off that ledge without some type of support there in some way. And these are women that don't have anyone. In fact, any money that they're saving up, it's there. And then, a family member ends up having a medical emergency and they're like, okay, I got to use it for that. Or, a family member may go to jail and it's like, I got to bail them out. It's like all of the things that happen with life. These are the women that are doing everything right, everything they can to get there. And it's like, can there just be a yes? Can there just be a, you've got this? And we really wanted to make it so that there weren't those barriers and that it was simple. I think that is what is making this just get to the rise to the point that it is, and just the momentum we have is the fact that it's simple, we're focused, we're doing what we said we're going to do, and partners are seeing it and coming along, and it's beautiful. And yeah, like I said, I think women are telling other women, we don't even have to put anything out there anymore as far as publicizing about it or getting on the, in fact, we're telling the news, we can't be on the news. We can't do this, because when we do, hundreds of applications come in. And until we're at the place where we have an endowment or a foundation or someone coming through with those kind of funds, which we're absolutely working on all the time.
Yeah.
We're just holding off on the news.
No, yeah. It's such a good problem to have, right?
It is.
But certainly, I know I've heard you tell that story of the first time that you guys were on the news, and it was completely overwhelming.
Yeah, it was.
Because I think there is that moment of wait, what are they doing? And wait, how this might help me get into a house. And that's
going to change everything.
No, because we know that generational wealth is the key to the future. And it's something that we're centered on every day is attainability and affordability, and how can we help people get into just the first rung of the property ladder.
Right.
And,
Yeah,
you know,
just get into
Right.
the start of it.
you're not going to buy your dream home this time. Like, you just need to get in.
Yes.
And I think, like, to your point of, you know, people saving and saving, well, prices keep going up too. And so that amount that you need to save keeps rising as you're struggling to do that. And it's just like this never ending chase to home ownership without help like this. So thank you
Yes.
for one thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like together we're changing mindsets.
Yeah.
I feel like when the end of the day, when people ask me, this is a generational opportunity to make a generational impact.
Mhm.
And it's so many of those people and families, I mean, women that are leading these families that are like, this can't happen for me. I mean, right? That was the mindset, like this. And this is just, they come to these cohorts and they see woman after woman closing and they're like, oh, this is for
it
me.
could happen.
Yeah.
Like, I can do this.
Mhm.
And we're at a time where I am hearing that a lot of people are getting up to the closing line and kind of like, you know, the market, everything is shifting and they're pulling back. And that is not what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
We're seeing women, right, one after the other, just say yes.
Yeah. And I think, like, there's that recognition. Right now, we're at this time in the market too. Like, interest rates aren't probably coming down and homes aren't getting more affordable. You know, like, you can't wait for that moment because it's probably not coming, barring a disaster. And we certainly won't hope for that. So, but also we're in a time where home buyers are competing with corporations for housing. And
Yeah.
it's a very difficult. And I think also there's a lot of opportunity, but us coaching agents at the same time that your organization is helping these women recognize the opportunity and, you know, coming to realize, like, if not now, when? And
Yes.
why not you?
Best friends.
Getting a mortgage is intimidating.
It totally is. Luckily, Westway Lending is an independent mortgage company that's all about personalized guidance, helping people get to their home ownership goals.
They work with both local and national lenders, so you've got plenty of options, and they take the time to actually find what fits you.
Whether you're a first-time buyer, refinancing, want to invest, or just need some advice, Westway makes the whole process feel easy and personal. Start your mortgage journey at westwaylending.com.
NMLS number 2374726, equal housing opportunity.
So we used to have, now that we're like halfway through season 1, we're switching it up. We used to have like a group chat debate, but like, honestly, I don't feel like there's a lot of debate to be had when it comes to Project
so
I
true.
See You. I'm like not even trying, but founder to founder, we'd love to ask you a question.
Okay.
So how do you support a cause without making it a marketing moment? And is there a line somewhere?
Such a good question. I feel like where we're at with this is we really want this to be beneficial for all of us, right? And so we really aren't wanting a partner to come and support without them also being able to say, look what I'm doing. And I mean, in the end of the day, when they get that out there, it just brings awareness for us of what we're doing, and more realtors, more lenders, more of those in the industry come to us and ask how they can support. So I feel like it can be a marketing moment. I mean, I think that what we're aware of is this cause is almost self-selective. Like, those that get it and see it are in, and they're in because they know what it's doing and what it means. They're not in because it's like, oh, how can I get the most out of how can I promote myself? It really does feel like that. Like, it self-selects. And so we want you all to be putting Project I See You, shared power, like, on your website, in your tagline, on your emails, whatever that looks like, so that people are asking you, and then you get a chance to say, look at this. Look what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, this is what community looks like.
Also, there's nothing wrong, I don't think, with like a little peer pressure, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
listen, other real estate
Yeah,
brokerages,
yeah.
like, where are you putting
Yeah,
money?
we love a leaderboard.
Yeah,
We love a competition.
Yeah, totally.
And right?
We certainly love that moment, standing up at our Oktoberfest event every year and handing you a big check.
Yes.
And there will certainly be a photographer there.
Right,
So
right.
I love that answer.
Right.
Thank you. I think like it's nothing wrong with a little
Doing good.
tag, a little love,
People you do
and
good.
a dollar amount.
Yes,
To be honest.
yes, it really. And I feel like this is the thing: is it's competition and it's collaboration. Like, who does that together?
Yeah.
Right. It's like we can kind of be like, it's the best competition. Like, we're doing this for the best cause, and now we'll see how much we can actually raise.
Yes. I love that. Thank you so much.
Best friends.
This episode is brought to you by West Main Homes.
Weston Maine is an independently owned, woman-founded real estate brokerage known for its collaborative approach, exceptional client care, and deep commitment to the communities it serves.
With agents across multiple states, Weston Maine helps buyers, sellers, and investors navigate real estate with confidence, creativity, and a people-first approach.
Wherever you're thinking of moving, anywhere in the country, Weston Maine will be happy to connect you with the perfect agent. Connect with us at westonmainehomes.com. So I know in the beginning you mentioned your kids.
Yes.
So tell us about your family.
Yes. So my husband, Greg, we've been married now for 28 years. this
Congratulations.
summer. And we have 4 children. So Taryn, 23, I ended up going to Pepperdine University. So kind of followed, that's where Greg and I met. So followed like that, just went where we were, and has graduated and now is actually in the field. She's working at an addiction treatment facility and behavior. She's all about psychological and behavioral health, and she's getting to do what she loves, and she's full-time, and she's like living her life in California. And then my son, James, is 21. He's at Cal Poly. He is home for the summer with an internship with Deloitte. He's all about financial advising. And then we actually have a gap there because we adopted from the Dominican Republic. So our daughter, Daniela, is 16. And she's a rapper.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
is
that's
amazing. Yeah, she's got all of this amazing energy, and just gets right in there. And yeah, so she's at Manual High School, and then our youngest William is 15, and he's at East, soccer player.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Amazing. You can definitely see the impact that you've had throughout the generation. And I think that's such a beautiful representation of generational wealth, to be honest. And you leveled up,
Yep.
so
Right.
and
Right.
watch what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Even just to see, right? Isn't this what we want for our kids? We just
Yeah.
want to see wherever we're at. We just want to see them just take it
Yeah.
as far as they can.
And have opportunities.
Yes. That's
Mhm.
all that we're wanting to see. And yeah, I really do feel like, people ask me what my why is. And I do feel like the privilege that I have, I think, you can't start listening to podcasts and researching and reading and not realize that there is definitely just a gap. And the privilege that I have has to be leveraged. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Just all of the, the social justice, the inequity, it's just so apparent. It's so there from the beginning of our country until now. And so it's what are we going to do about that? And it's us, right? And I'm anything I need to do to make sure that that is leveraged. If we have wealth, we've got to move it. If we have, privilege, we got to leverage it. And if we have power, we got to share it, right? This is just how we have to do it.
That brings us back to the Shared Power Initiative. So nice segue,
Full
Mercy. Nice. So looking forward then, I asked you to look back. If you look forward 5 years, what will Project ICU and the Shared Power Initiative look like?
Yeah. And I feel like this comes back to you all too, just as we start expanding across the state. We're looking at Colorado Springs,
Mhm.
Fort Collins, and our team in Fort Collins is really a Weston Maine, Amber
Yeah.
Weber, who is, taking that on. And so we're aware that this can go all across the state. I think it is going to be centered in those metro areas, but this grant can be granted anywhere, and we're starting to see that. And that really has just gotten us to a point where we're asking and speaking it out, what could this look like for this to go to other cities? I know that for myself, I feel like that not just seeing someone right, this is where it starts, is seeing someone for who they are, seeing ourselves first of all, but seeing someone for who they are and really valuing them and what that can mean. But there's something about seeing ahead and going, what could this be? And then having that on repeat in your mind and then speaking it out, right? And
Mhm.
I feel like for the last couple of years, I've been speaking this cannot just stay here in Denver. If, we're seeing that this is we have a success rate of 100% keeping women in homes. The success of this, what could this look like to go to other cities? And so we have been applying for national grants. We have, we right now are in communication with Cross Country Mortgage about could there be a possibility to take it to another, and we're not limiting this to one, right? Like it could be like we're open to, again, this is what we've always been about, like how many of us can we bring in, but it really is looking like within a year, like we could be starting to see this in another city.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I love hearing that. I didn't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
So I'm like so excited to hear that.
And isn't it that's how it goes, right? Like it's like even everything that you've built and all of what you've seen. I mean, I look at you both and I just think of visionaries and like, and it's like even to the point where it's like, do we have enough to even right time capacity to do this? Because it just keeps coming. Like when you're actually able to get really clear, right, on what it is. And I think there's something about being detached about the outcome too. It's like, I could have this or not have this. Like I'm so aware of all that I do have. But I would love to see this happen because of what it means and how it could impact lives. When you're in that place and you get really clear and you start speaking it as if it already were,
that's the magic.
Yeah.
You told a story when we interviewed you for our book. You shared a story about how you got to go to a meeting and you didn't have to run the meeting and you got to just like show up and talk for a minute and then leave.
Yeah.
And like I've definitely had those moments too. We have such an amazing team now that sometimes I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
I know. It's like there's not anything for me to do.
I guess I'll just go and enjoy. Yeah. I think like there is this like pivotal moment in any organization, and it turns out even in nonprofit, where you get to make that turn.
Yeah.
And so as you've seen the organization grow and that happen, how has your role changed?
Yeah, it's such a good question. I feel like there's something about team that is so important. And I will say that we learned that lesson the hard way. Like it's not that every one that we've had, we brought in as a contractor or employee it is like we've had to learn. Like, we thought that it was going to be this. And this is not really where we weren't aligned, right? That has been tough. Like those lessons can flatten you.
Yeah.
But I feel like that has also, brought us to the point where it's like, what does our team look like? And we have a phenomenal team right now. Like I have implicit trust in all of them. And that is why I think that it is at the place where I can come in and come out. And I think that it's just been really exciting for me to say, what do I want? Like, what do I want this to look like? And how can we get there? And really, as we start thinking about going national, I feel like we have a message that is beyond, just shared power. I feel like our message really is to women as far as you have this inner authority, you have this knowing. And when you act on that, like anything can happen. And you don't do that alone.
Yeah.
Like don't ever for a second think like you're doing that alone. Like you absolutely circle up. Like, right, this is our theme of this year's. We're going to be taking that into the next few years as far as we circle up, because when somebody's in need, we come around them. And then once that is like taken care of, they get into circle and we go, right. And I feel like one of the most probably just one of those for me that has been so just deep is the fact that when I came into a time of need, like, right, and it had so much to do with just my kids and my need and me putting it out there to the homeowners, putting it out there to captains, putting it out there to our partners, I was surrounded, right, when I needed that. And so that's when I knew, like, we have created something that is for all of us coming from every direction. This doesn't go one way.
Yeah.
Right? This is not about that at all. This is about every one of us getting there and coming through for each other.
Yeah. And I think the way that you've structured it is like, it has created that like circular path. It's not just like you come in and then you go out. It's like, no, you're part of this. And like now your role has changed. Like you're a homeowner now. How are you going to like lift someone else up? I think it's so good.
I know.
So good. I haven't cried yet.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
But I can't look at you.
Best friends.
So are there some basic requirements you guys have? Because people might be listening today and they might know somebody, or they might be like, hey, I really want to check this out. So are there some basic requirements?
Yes.
To get into.
So first of all, it's female identifying, first-time homeowner. She will be owning on her own for the first time. So she could have owned a partnership before, but this will be the first time on her own, and she'll be the only one on the title. A lot of the work of just as far as where she is with credit score, salary, all of that gets worked out as far as if she can pre-qualify for a loan, then that sets us up to be able to say, okay, she's in a place. And we really have a lot, like you were saying, this idea of, women who have closed and come back, or even people that are, working with us. We've set up a committee that is working with women as they get all of their documents and, the loan estimate, all of it in order, so that they're not the only ones having eyes on it. Like, we have advocates going, okay, what about this? Or what about, right, what's this question? So that we get them there and they know that they can feel settled. I mean, this is the biggest financial decision of your life. And when you come from a background where you haven't seen this, like you haven't seen necessarily homeownership, and you're like, I have every question. I don't even know what the question is to ask.
Yeah.
To be able to come to a place where it's like, every question's a good question. You may ask things that we don't know either, and we'll find the answers. Like this, let's go. Like, right, we'll do this together. I think that allows them to say, okay, let's do it. And I am qualified for this, and this is for me.
Yeah, I think often we see with first-time home buyers, the intimidating piece is actually just talking to a lender.
Yeah.
They can look at houses online all day long. They can even fill out like a mortgage application and, see how that comes back. But until they talk to a professional who can really help them with like, okay, listen, you're not ready to buy right now, but here's 3 things that you can work on this year. And I think by, this time next year, we'll be able to fill this application out again. And it's going to look really different. If you work on your credit, pay off this credit card, don't go buy a car.
Don't,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Negotiate a
you have to
higher
have people
pay
tell
rate.
you that.
Really,
Yeah.
It is so important. And I love even that there have been those applicants that have ended up working with even Weston Maine, right? Like whether that be Weston Maine or Westway. I love that has been a part of this. And I also love for your clients that you're able to say, when you work with us, like this is actually not just getting you to the finish line, it's getting someone to the finish line who wouldn't be getting there, right?
Yeah.
Like just by working
It
with
means
us,
so
because
much.
of your generosity and how you give back, that's all there. And I just feel like that's amazing. I feel like that's what people are looking for right now. Like, I want to be working with businesses and corporations that are actually wanting to give back and
Yeah.
actually care.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like walking the walk, right?
Yeah,
And
it is.
it can seem like a real, honestly, dichotomy between when you have a really diverse clientele. We're lucky enough to, that's where we can like pull from those buckets and go like, well, maybe we could help a little bit more here, or like maybe we can cut a little bit here so that we can get you over that line and into a home, put some keys in your hand. But you had a question you really wanted to ask, Madie. I want to make sure that we don't miss it.
Yeah, it's really just how good does it feel to hand over a grant and get someone in a house that probably didn't think it was possible, and everyone has circled around them, provided, resources, education, and a whole lot of love. So what does that feeling feel like? And I can only imagine that it's very addicting.
It like doesn't ever stop feeling like this is why we're here. And you never stop feeling what that's going to mean for that woman and her kids. And I'm also really aware of what it took to get there. Like, I'm really aware of you all, right? I'm really aware of all of the partners that came that said, yes, we're seeing this, let's give, in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really, really aware. I think it's just this gratitude that just washes over you from head to toe. Yeah. And I'm so aware too of the homeowners and how there's story after story of them saying like they get there, and if they don't need the funds, they will actually back out and they will say, I want the next woman in line to get this. Like, I figured this out without it. Can you just go ahead and give that?
Wow.
Right? Because I know that this is what was needed. Or there was a woman, Jasmine, like did something similar, like right at closing, she realized that she only needed $7,000. And she's like, they've written me the check for 10. And so she called me right away after closing. And she said, I'm going to have them send that straight back to Project ICU. Please, I want to do right by this. Please do this, like get it where it needs to go. Right. Like, and then just how they're showing up for moves, and they're showing up to gather, so that they can be in community. And, It's just everything. Like, this is the community that we all been wanting and waiting for. And it's like you said, it crosses all lines. I mean, I want to speak too to just how powerful it is that men are involved in this. I really do, because I know we've been talking a lot about women, but I cannot say enough about the men who see this. And it's not all of them, right? I mean, but those who do are like, this has to happen. Like, if we're ever going to get to equity, like, we have to make sure that those who are like, right, need to rise up are rising up. And that's going to take all of us. I talk about this all the time. Any great movement, it isn't just about those who are like in need. It's like everyone has to come and be a part of the movement. And so that has been one of the most powerful parts of this, honestly, is to see men who will just drop everything and say, what do you need? Like, let's go. I love that.
You can see it. One of the, light examples of that is at your annual gala, where there's a live auction and, so many different donated prizes. The men, especially, at an auction, they got to win, but they get fired up. And the way that it works there, I think it's like one of the most impactful fundraising experiences I've ever been to, where you're like, well, we just got someone else a home. We just got someone else a home. Like, can we get $10,000 and we'll get someone else a home? And it was like, holy shit, like, how many homes did we just like create in this room
So many
tonight?
homes popping out everywhere.
Yeah. And then like everyone line dances. It's like the best. As we're, as we just made everyone cry. So I really want to make sure that everyone listening knows how they can support Project ICU. So what are those ways?
I would say that there are a couple different ways. One of them is this whole idea of captains, which I know that you all as West of Maine have taken that on. It's just saying, if you can give $10,000, amazing. If you can't, can you raise $10,000 with us this year? And we have everything for you as far as like a resource guide and all fundraising page, all of what you need to be able to do that. So it's as easy as it possibly can be. So if that is you and you're out here and you want to get involved, amazing.
No, they have such a good platform. Like, you can, like, it's so easy. A link that you can just share. It could not be easier to raise money.
And it can just kind of show your progress, right? Like, as far as to get to the 10,000. I would say, if that is you, please find me, mercy@projecticu.org. But also, if they just want to start giving to your team.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you're just in the West of Maine community family and you just want to be a part of all of the, the impact you're making, then they can just find your link and just give that way. That's a big part. There's also just a lot of opportunities if you are in the industry to be able to, present at a cohort or come in and really be in it with the women as far as like advising or, right? So that's another way to use your expertise. And then there is this big annual event. So I'll just speak to this year. It's November 4th. It's at the Grizzly Rose, which a lot of people are just like, yeah, let's go.
If you grew up in Denver, you went to Drinking with Lincoln at the Grizzly Rose when you were 15 years old, and I can't wait to go back. Yeah.
Yes. So there's going to be bull riding, line dancing, right? Custom hats, like a signature drink. There's going to be all the things. And it's going to be just a really good time. We're really aware that like people are kind of done with just the white tablecloth, like come and just raise your paddle and leave. Like, let's make this something that you're like looking forward to and you want to keep coming. And we want to give with that kind of energy and that kind of joy. Like you said, like we leave and we all just have chills all over going, look what we just did tonight, all of us together. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Best friends.
So, we always like to end every episode by sharing our mantra.
Okay.
So how about if Madie and I share our mantra for the week while you think about yours? Would that be okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what's our mantra this week?
It's going to be say yes and figure it out.
Yes. I knew you were going to say that because she said that earlier. It really is.
But it's something we say all the time.
Yeah. We say it all the time. Yeah. I think like there's no opportunity that should pass out of fear. And I think like there is always a way to figure it out. So I love that you kind of said it earlier.
Yes to these women and then being like, I'm not
then they get
probably
to say
sure. Yes.
And then their kids get to say yes. Yes.
And we're all saying yes.
I would say mine is it's all within you.
Oh.
Like there is nothing that is happening that is not already in every one of them and every one of us. And so just to listen. Yeah.
I love it.
Well, what a perfect way to go out.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being here,
you.
Mercy. What a pleasure. We can't
For
wait.
all you do.
We can't wait for Boots and Bling in November. And your website, projecticu.org, is a great source of information, actually, a great resource for anyone who might be thinking about buying a home or might want to support this cause. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your best friends in business with Stacie and Madie. The best advice you ever had, so you won't have to ask your dad. Best friends.
That's all for this episode of Your Best Friends in Business. Follow Your Best Friends in Business on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave a review if you can. It helps new listeners find the show. Your Best Friends in Business is produced by Weston Main Homes in partnership with Pod People. Special thanks to our friend Dave Christie for the music.